Okay, let me try and show you how to use the web-based version. So if you're struggling with the Desktop Pro version, there is a web version. It doesn't work as well as the desktop version, but I think it'll work well enough to get you through some of the questions in the labs. So in this first lab, there's only a handful of questions that uses Google Earth, and you should be able to get through most using the web version. So to get to the web version, we're just typing in Google Earth into your browser, and it'll take you to the right link. Open it, and you're in Google Earth just on your browser. And so it won't look like the one from the desktop version that's in the tutorial. It should look something like this. And if you go to the very top here under the menu, you can click this, and there's some stuff that you can adjust here. The one thing that I'll mention is under settings. It'll probably default when you first open up this web version to kilometers and meters. And I think some of the questions ask you for feet. And so we want to be able to check that out. So you can go right here, and here's your units of measure. And so you can choose between meters and kilometers and feet and miles. So make sure you're choosing the right one. So that's something that you can do. And you'll see it change down here. Like I've already changed it to miles and feet. And so that's what it's in. And then you can go down here to projects. If you open that and hit open, you can then import the file from the lab. Now in the lab, it's called a KMZ file. Here it's a KML, but fortunately they're interchangeable in this case. And so if you just go here to import, you find where you downloaded it and open it. And then it'll come up with a little folder like this. And if you click this, you should see this expanded version where there are 6 place marks. So that little teardrop thing is indicating a place mark. And basically in the lab, it's asking you to visit these places. And so you can double click, and it does bring up a pop-up, which the desktop version does also. And there is some information that's useful to you. So you want to read this here. It might help you answer a question or two. And then you can zoom in and zoom out with the pluses here or with the scroll bar. What I find useful is you can't really rotate easily in this view, but if you double click this little compass, now you can rotate very easily. So I can zoom in, zoom out, and I can rotate. That's probably the best kind of view to have. And so you can get rid of that little pop-up there. If you go to this other place mark, there is another pop-up, so you can read that. Once you've read that, you can get rid of it. And then in this question here, though it's not doing a great job of outlining the landslide, it does give you an indication when it kind of loads of elevation here. So let's see, where did that go? It was there a second ago. So off to the right here, it might be that I have to make this a little bigger. Let's see if I need to do that for you. Yep, I do. So sorry about that. So if I zoom back in, you could see the feet here. So one of the questions says, what's the elevation difference? So if you hover over an area, this bottom right is telling you the elevation above sea level. So here at A, and then I can go down here at B, and then I can figure out the elevation difference, right? So you can use that, of course, to answer some of the questions. So most of the questions should be answerable. Is that a word? Using the web version. So give that a try. Go through that. If you miss one or two questions, in the grand scheme of things, it will not be a big deal, and it shouldn't impact your grade whatsoever. And then we'll work through the other labs trying to get the web-based version to work. All right. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me, and we'll see how this goes.